I love this game. Fine, sheesh. Hello, and welcome to the Fuzzy Gamer. I am host, the Red Menace. Funny co-host as Eski is out of town. Today, we are reviewing Darksiders 2, developed by Vigil, published by THQ. Now, what to say about this game? Well, it and its predecessor have been described as a sort of dark version of the Legend of Zelda games, and this is not entirely inaccurate. Adding a good deal of spectacle fighter and some interesting game mechanics, ball it all up and fry it in a vat of awesome, and that is what you have with Darksiders 1. Happily, the second installment in the franchise does not disappoint. Now, the Red Menace must admit he was impressed. Gamer monkeys hardly begged for any food or water during playthrough and rarely had to be enchained to use the restroom. They were of course suitably rewarded with this gamer treat. Ahem. Having started with how much the Red Menace enjoys this franchise, it must be said, nothing is perfect. There are some glaring issues with PC port as of this review, such as non-functioning vertical sync making for horrendous screen tearing, non-HD textures, and a distinct lack of UI adaptation. There are also several in-game issues that pick at the perfection of the game. During game, the pistol that Death is equipped with stays drawn for entirely too long after shooting, making for awkward, slow movement while trying to platform effectively. Every single skeleton key comes with a pop-up screen telling you what it is and what it's used for. The context-sensitive buttons are often tricky and will disappear when most needed, and the fast travel system could be more precise. All of that having been said, it still does not detract enough from this game to make it anything but stellar. In this sequel, you play as Death, another of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, set on a mission to exonerate his brother War. He plans to do this by resurrecting humanity and making War's alleged crime a moot point. Along the way, he gathers tools and learns new skills in order to make his way towards his goal. Many of War's special equipment are present in one form or another. Death gets one of his brother Horseman's pistols, and his grappling hook is more magical in nature than War's. Death also gets a similar portal ability that later upgrades to a time portal. In addition, Death also gains a piece of equipment that allows him to summon badass dead guys to solve puzzles, which also upgrades to an ability to be in two places at once. The gear and loot system is more adventure RPG-like, which Gamer Monkeys and the Red Menace both enjoyed. Scythes, secondary weapons, and armor are all equipable, which allows for a continuous stream of upgrades to help power up the mighty Death. Magic items are present in the standard multicolor scale, along with a special kind of magic item called a possessed item that eats other items in order to increase its power. This adds in a certain amount of customization that the Red Menace enjoys, both in the statistics area as well as the aesthetic. Gameplay is notably different in the combat, where Death is more agile in his fighting style than his brute of a brother. He dodges and leaps through the air easily and is generally a much more mobile combatant. Furthermore, due to his obvious lack of strength, Death sees fit to solve his problems more with magic and energy than with brute force, using his ethereal arms and two open doors and bastion chests. Even his grappling hook is a magical energy hand. This time around, the player is presented with skill trees to enhance Death's already formidable combat prowess. Several options from summoning tiny, fierce zombies that fight for you to flashing across the room to strike your enemy down are available, and most of them do not suck. Combat is fluid and enjoyable. Oftentimes, the Red Menace would get caught up in a fight and not realize it was over until the loot started spilling out of the enemy's melting corpse. Of course, like first game, boss fights end in intricate dismembering process that the player can just sit back and enjoy without having to worry about quick time events. Despite the lack of HD textures, the world is still up to par with its predecessor, beautifully designed and implemented. It has much less of the post-apocalyptic sense that the first game had, which some people find a refreshing change. For his part, the Red Menace enjoyed seeing pitiful human civilization crumbled in ruin. Now, if only those filthy angels would lay down and die. World areas keep up the tradition of being rather large. Thankfully, you also get your own horse, Despair, to get around. Personally, I always thought that this pale horse should be named Mortis. Sound quality is excellent, with epic score by Jesper Keith Jacobson, who also composed soundtracks for Assassin's Creed and Borderlands. The Red Menace has always thought that without a suitable soundtrack, any sort of visual entertainment simply falls flat, and Jacobson seriously delivers. Foley is also very well done with... Wait, what the name of Kremlin is this? Definition? The hell do I care if they understand what I'm saying? Get it out of here! Anyway... Foley is rather well done, with wood sounding like wood and metal sounding like metal when Death climbs, jumps, or even walks over it. Hell, you even hear the creak of leather when Death is all suited up in the right kind of armor. The voice acting is superb, with Michael Wincott heading up the cast as Death himself. And if you don't know who that is, I want you to take a hammer and break all of the fingers on your left hand. Claudia Christian of Babylon 5 fame and James Cosmo of Game of Thrones also make appearances as well. Sadly, Mark Hamill could not be in it because, well, that character was busy elsewhere. Still, there was hope. The script is suitably epic and funny at times, particularly one character voiced by Andre Sogliuzzo, who you may have heard as any of a dozen Scottish accents in various video games. Now, is it me, or shouldn't there be a consequence for telling Death that he jumps like a girl? Overall, the Red Menace has thoroughly enjoyed this game. The story is well written, the world is wonderfully designed, the gameplay is tight and enjoyable, and the music is suitably epic. If you haven't bought this one, go out and do so right now. Well, thank you for watching our show. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, dislike and let us know why if you didn't. If you have any questions or comments, please refer them to our email address, fuzzygamerchannel@gmail.com. This has been the Fuzzy Gamer. As always, I am the Red Menace. Red Menace out.